This is the Realme Buds Air 3 and the unit I received from the company comes with the initials of my name engraved on the case. Hello everyone, Aman here from Mr. Phone, and in this video let's talk about the latest Realme Buds Air 3, which are the successors to the Buds Air 2. Now, in comparison to the last year's model, the Buds Air 3 come with a refreshed design. They claim to offer better battery life. They also come with a more powerful ANC, and there's also the dual connectivity feature, all for a price of 3,999 rupees. So, are the Realme Buds Air 3 worth the asking price? Let's find out in the full review. But before we start, consider hitting that red subscribe button for detailed tech videos, and also turn on the bell so that you don't miss any of our latest updates. Starting with the case design, well, in comparison to the Buds Air 2, the width has increased here. There's also Realme branding at the top of the lid that looks absolutely dope. In terms of weight also, I feel the 3's case is heavier than the 2's, but the added weight definitely gives that premium feel in the hand. Moving on, there's a function key on the side for easy pairing and a USB Type-C port at the bottom to charge the case. The hinge is absolutely fantastic, and even after fidgeting for hours with it, after being using it for a few days now, it doesn't feel loose at all, and the sound it makes when you shut it with authority is so sweet. Onto the buds, you now get a shorter stem with a matte finish, a better in-ear design of the buds, and an IPX5 rating for prevention against light splashes. And do note the IP rating is only for the buds and not the case, similar to what we saw with the Buds Air 2 as well. Overall, the Buds Air 3 look and feel good. The build, in my opinion, is robust, and the white variant that I have with me also does a good job of hiding the scratches and fingerprints. Moving on, the Realme Buds Air 3 relies on Bluetooth 5.2 for pairing, and since it supports dual connectivity, I have been using it with my GT2 Pro, my iPhone 13 Pro, and my MacBook Air. Audio enthusiasts will also be glad to know that the Buds Air 3 supports the AAC codec and features 10mm LCP bass boost drivers. Additionally, the Buds Air 3 also support Google Fast Pairing, so bringing it near a supported Android phone automatically brings up the pairing mode on the screen. Apart from this, you of course get touch controls on the Buds Air 3 that work pretty fine. You can customize them from the Realme Fit app, which also lets you tweak a bunch of settings such as tuning your sound, turning on the game mode, or turning on dual connectivity. And speaking of dual connectivity, while many times I was watching videos on my Mac and a call came on my phone, the shift from the video to the call on the Buds Air 3 was pretty seamless. Now, I'm not saying that it was all roses and merry, it was all perfect all the time. Yes, it did get finicky sometimes, but overall, in a situation like 8 out of 10 times, I would say the dual connectivity feature on the Buds Air 3 worked pretty much fine. One other great feature for the price is the in-ear detection, which automatically plays or pauses your music or video when you put or remove the buds from your ears. This brings me to the sound quality of the Buds Air 3, with which I am absolutely impressed, and part of the reason are also the sound effects on offer that you can check out from the Realme Link app. Honestly, I'm not a big fan of the bass boost plus setting, which admittedly does boost the bass obviously, but somehow I didn't like how the vocals in a song go for a toss. Then comes balanced and bright settings, and for me, I absolutely love the balanced settings. See, the bright settings boosts the mids, and vocal driven songs do sound amazing here, but overall, if I am listening to pop music, and I'm a huge fan of pop music, in those cases, for me, balanced worked out like a charm. So songs like New Rules from Dua Lipa sounded amazing. The Buds Air 3 does a superb job in producing the lows and the mids, but I felt the highs, specifically the sound of the synth, the strings in that song, I think stuff like that shines, and the Buds Air 3 handles all of that so well. Then songs like Stairway to Heaven from Led Zeppelin, now those are the kind of tracks where you'd appreciate how well the Buds Air 3 handles the vocals. And just by the way, be it listening to mellow tracks or racy tracks, I have tested the Buds Air 3 for a good while listening to different sort of audios at high volumes, and never ever did I feel that the audio at high volumes was screechy or was hurting my ears, so that's a plus. Apart from this, fans of Bollywood and indie pop would also appreciate the sound quality that the Buds Air 3 brings to the table, especially reverb-heavy tracks such as Tum Hi Dekho Na from Kabhi Alvida Na Kehna sound so rich and beautiful, plus the instrument separation is on point. I mean, honestly, words aren't enough to describe how impressed I am with the sound quality of the Buds Air 3 that you get for its price. Moving on, in terms of calling, the dual microphones do a fine job in cancelling out the disturbance around you. Callers on the other end never really complained about background disturbance, even when I was in a noisy environment. That said, a few callers did complain about background noise when I took calls on the iPhone, that is when my Buds Air 3 was paired with my iPhone 13 Pro. Not that this was major, but I'm just putting it out there. So while using the Buds Air 3 with an Android smartphone, everything worked flawlessly, but while using this one with my iPhone 13 Pro, well, some callers did have a few complaints. Apart from this, the ANC on the Buds Air 3 works pretty well. In fact, you won't notice much of a difference in ANC between the Buds Air 2 and Buds Air 3 in a home environment. It's only when you step out of your house that you'll notice the kind of advantage the 42 decibels noise cancellation in the Buds Air 3 brings over the 25 decibels noise cancellation in the Buds Air 2. The Buds Air 3 also offers an 88 millisecond game mode similar to the Buds Air 2, and so in practice it works just about the same on the Buds Air 3 as it was on the Buds Air 2. That said, it's always good to have a low latency game mode in a pair of TWS. Finally, in terms of endurance, the Buds Air 3 case features a 460 mAh battery, and the promised claim of the Buds Air 3 is 22 hours of total playback with ANC on and up to 30 hours of total playback in normal mode. In my experience, I've been getting a solid 5 to 6 hours of battery life with mixed usage of ANC and normal mode, and even when it comes to the charging, well, I usually charge my Buds Air 3 every 4 days or so, and even at that point, the case still has a bit of battery left. So in a nutshell, when it comes to the battery life, well, there's nothing to worry about with the Buds Air 3. Long story short, for a price of 3,999 rupees, I feel the Realme Buds Air 3 are a solid purchase. I mean, in terms of cons, the only complaints I had was the slight issue regarding calling on my iPhone 13 Pro, where the callers complained about the background noise. Apart from this, I feel volume controls on the Buds Air 3 would have been a nice bonus. But otherwise, for the asking price, the Buds Air 3 offers superb battery life, the ANC is solid, the hinge is solid, and of course, most importantly, you get a pleasant audio experience. And that was my review of the Realme Buds Air 3. So guys, if you have any thoughts or queries regarding these, then definitely let me know in the comments below. And as always, for all the latest in tech, stay tuned to Mr. Phone. I'll catch you all in the very next one. Thank you for watching.